Back for a night of winning at Run Pure Sports, Monday Night Football 2-game slate with JBC, resident in-house betting genius with stats in his team. And I want to thank you for helping me get through this last week and not just go off the precipice here and stay calm. You gave me a couple of it was really started the previous Sunday. I said, give me your mortal lock winners. And instantly, because you're a great text responder, you sent me Michigan. It was live. So we did a live Michigan and then UConn. I was like, I love it. I don't suggest ever having a parlay hold for 7 days, especially when you have 9 to 10. But you got me through the week. I tell you that. I'm glad we didn't go. What's that?
It's fun that way. We had fun the whole week with that.
God. I mean, I was having dreams about the game and flags being thrown at the inappropriate times. Yeah, so that was good. So it was a good outcome. You love the game, but I think you love the game only because you wanted to give me a boost in spirit. But deep down, you're like, this is my 10th favorite game.
Georgia's good. I still can't believe what happened in the second half.
Oh my God.
If we had been there, I'm like 90% sure we would have gotten arrested.
Yep. I'd start fights.
Something. I would have hit a cop.
Yeah. Booze and adrenaline, especially if we lost. If we lost, I would just stay there and
go try and hug Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Just something ridiculous.
Yeah. So it worked out in the end. Content was good. Held to my guns, stuck to them, didn't cash out. Probably should have in the end. So yeah. And then what's that? Then I hit again. I like you have these moments. Obviously, you're extremely successful DFS player and better. You feel a tailwind, right? You feel there's some energy about it, some karma about it, and I felt good about it last night. Still tilting the Auburn. There are some teams in college football. Utah.
Auburn, oh my God. What do you do? And now Auburn plays Georgia.
If as Georgia gets healthier, they are fucking dangerous.
The schedule's just they got to go to Texas and Ole Miss still.
Yeah. I'm glad Kentucky got it out of their way now and survived it. Didn't win, but
Kentucky looks good, man. They're in good shape.
They're very good defense, extremely good defense, well coached. I love Mark Stoops. I love him locally here. He's just a great guy. I was talking to the coaches before they went on the road, and
well, you told me you were like, I think they can win this game, and
which they always will say that, but they're like, no, we're gonna get this.
Yeah.
And you know what he said? What made me almost vomit all week. We asked about Auburn, Georgia. He's like, Georgia all day. He's like, Auburn's not Auburn. I mean, sorry, Georgia, Alabama. He's like, Alabama's not the same Alabama. I'm like, cool. That's really cool. I said,
cool.
That's really cool. I said, even when you just narrowly almost beat Georgia. But hey, Kentucky's a good football team.
Yeah, but also him saying Georgia all day was probably like him trying to pump himself up a little bit for coming so close.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say too. Last night in the showdown, like again, we go in these spurts and you have these winning streaks, so we feel good right now. On the showdown last night, because someone asked in the messages to sort of walk through process. I'll do generally what happened last night with me, and you can say anything you want to add with yours without revealing your secret sauce. But our optimizer that we use at Run Pure Sports is SaberSim. It's excellent. I got back to last night really forcing my own projections on a game script that I thought would happen. I thought if Baltimore could hold Josh Allen to not being a rusher, that he'd have problems, and that put Derrick Henry in a really good spot to be the highest projected in the field. So I said, fuck it, let's go with that. In that scenario, if Derrick Henry was the highest projected in the field, he was an easy captain with Lamar second. But I wanted last night, I wanted 60% of one captain. Either I'm going to busto or I'm going to get them all. And I sorted instead of risk-adjusted ROI on SaberSim, which is my typical sort, which and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Rubio has explained to me that risk-adjusted ROI is more so if you really don't know what's going to happen in the slate or you want more diversity. So I said, fuck it. I want this to happen. I'll sort by projected score. And as soon as I wasn't even watching the game, as soon as Derrick Henry did that 84-yard run in the first half, I said, we got him. We got him. There's not a combination that I won't have that we win, except for the one that Sheets had. You know, Sheets in our Discord, super sharp. He had a solo Derrick Henry $300,000 lineup. Solo.
I did the exact same thing as you, except for I only played Lamar Jackson and not Derrick Henry. So I had a similar script. I was really heavy on the Ravens defense, that because I put them in my core. I thought the Ravens defense would be optimal. I thought it was going to be a game with a lot of running and that they had more upside than the Bills defense, because I also thought the Ravens were going to win the game. So I pretty much only played Lamar and then some Josh Allen at captain, and then had Lamar in like every lineup. So I kind of knew I was screwed when Henry ran the long one. It's like if he doesn't get that long one, maybe Lamar gets there. But, we saw a similar script, but we approached it different ways, and yours ended up being better.
When your third or fourth price person has 84 yards and a touchdown in the first quarter, it's pretty over for captain, and that happens. Listen, and had Henry done nothing and Lamar did that, I'm dead. So, but at this point, if I and I've got some tonight, and we've got some tonight, I think we're on the same script. If I'm not 50% one guy captain, then I don't want Jake Bobo captain tonight. It just, unless
well, I never want that. I'm the guy that only plays 3 or 4 captains all the time.
That's what you should do. That's what Bryce Third and Schlong, when we used to talk a showdown years ago, he's like, there's only 4 viable captains. The only way like a Jake Bobo type, as an example, because it's the first name that popped in my head, is viable as a captain is that when you have super high price guys that all go for fucking 30 or 40. That's not this slate. Wiley, what's your hair routine, bud? Okay, TJ from Slack. So first of all, 11:30 a.m. this morning, I get a haircut at Supercuts. That's not a lie. I go to Supercuts. And some, hang on, I'll show you. This is a free show.
Oh, get the good stuff.
I'll show you. This is only for this show. I'll never do it again because it's part of my hair regimen.
Secret.
It's a secret. I mean, you got great hair too.
I have long hair. I need a cut. Great. No, but I'm not going to cut it until the end of the season. That's
right here.
The deal.
It's called Reformer. This stuff. A little bit of it is texture cream. High hold. Matte finish. There you go. Brought to you by. So let's talk tonight. Are we going to let's talk about, I guess, the 2-gamer's great. I love the 2-gamer. And I
love 2-gamers too.
What do you like about tonight?
Tyreek Hill.
No. What do you like about the 2-gamer tonight? Because I think it's going to be very difficult for people to focus on 1 or 2 automatic plays, especially at quarterback, right?
Yeah. I think everybody's going to be extremely focused on the Detroit game for good reason. The total's higher. But you've got a situation in Miami where you've got a player like Tyreek Hill who can go nuts and a quarterback in Tyler Huntley with a really high floor because he's going to run the ball. He pretty much has attempted like 10 rushes like every time he starts. So, to ignore Tyler Huntley as a play, I think is a horrible mistake.
How many Pro Bowls does he have?
1.
How many does Joe Burrow have?
Also 1. And Huntley's younger.
You've tried to fish hook me that all day today.
Although the Bengals did win. The Bengals won. So I can't victory lap that, unfortunately.
Against your Panthers.
Yes.
It was close. It was not.
We should have gone to that game.
There was no one there.
I know.
Oh, my God. Julius Peppers Hall of Fame ring ceremony. There's like 7 people clapping in the crowd. By the way, shout out to UNC and Julius Peppers.
Covering the 1.5.
My good friend Will Chapman in Lexington, Kentucky, played defensive end opposite Julius Peppers in college until he got a knee injury. Will Chapman's a good dude. fucking giant too. But he's a Lexington guy, so he's a big North Carolina guy. So I think it's going to be it's a tough slate, but it's a good slate for people who max because the quarterback question. I mean, they're all basically the same.
Oh, I'm throwing them all in almost the same.
You have to. The defenses the same.
Throw it at the wall.
Throw it at the wall, right? And I think the lean right now is going to be Seattle and Geno Smith, which is fair.
I think Geno might be like 50% owned.
Correct. Which implies that he probably throws for 2 touchdowns. He doesn't run. He doesn't run them in.
Huntley could beat that with no touchdowns.
That's a good point. Because look at what Tennessee did last week with Malik.
Yeah.
Who's not even playing anymore. They made him look like Michael Vick. So I agree with you on Huntley. That's why the one lock that right now is a lock for me. If I had one lock, it would be Achane.
I think he'll be 80% owned ish. I think he's going to be. I get lock. I get why you have to lock him.
Yeah,
and I agree. I've got like 75.
Yeah.
He's you pretty much him and it. You can build your lineups around him and St. Brown pretty much without giving anything up.
I'm trying to get around setting rules because I know that's not your vibe. Especially on limiting rules on plays. I kind of want to do it with a Detroit running back, but I can also see a script where both of them are in there.
They like last year. I want to say if they had 17 games in the regular season, it's like both running backs were optimal, like at least a third of the time.
Yeah.
They just run the ball a lot and they're good at it.
Yeah, they do, and that's why Jared Goff stinks as a quarterback because he's taking touchdowns away with he doesn't throw a lot in. He gets a tremendous amount of volume to ASB. But
I like Jared Goff today because I think that he's going to get I think that so much of the ownership is going to get wrapped up in Geno that Jared Goff is going to get overlooked. Like he might be as low as Will Levis in ownership.
I don't think there is a case where Achane is not on this slate.
He would have to get hurt.
It would have to be really bad.
Or a price thing where you need all the expensive receivers.
We need ASB or Tyreek
Hill.
Yes. However, there are some I was going to say max one tight end tonight, but I'm like, fuck no. There's some weird tight ends at 2,500 that seem to be a ton of them. I mean, Vanett got a touchdown last week, dude. And 4 of their tight ends seem to get catches.
Yeah, because I feel like everybody's just gonna just play Laporta and then that's it.
Yeah, I think he's still injured. I think Brock Wright maybe even better play.
Yeah, well, I mean the thing about Laporta is with the tight ends are weak, but they're cheap. So it's like if Laporta catches a touchdown, that's gonna be optimal.
Yeah, but what's Laporta's price? Is he 5K?
He's over that.
He's 6K. He's 5.7. So he is in a zone where he's got to really outscore close to a running back, a quarterback.
But he doesn't. What if all the other tight ends bust? Which is totally on the table.
I don't think that's the case. I think that one of these cheap ass tight ends gets a touchdown. And I think that in flex, then it allows you one of these running backs who's going to go off or a mega receiver. That's why I don't think I'd spend up for Laporta because I just don't think he can. Now, if that's the conviction point we're talking about, you got to take stands like that against the field. I don't love JSN a lot tonight because he's going up against Brian Branch.
He's going to be crazy high owned.
When you've got DK Metcalf, who is you can't defend him. I mean, he's a moose. He's gigantic. I mean, Metcalf and Achane. Metcalf may be more of a lock to me than Achane.
Metcalf, I'm getting like here. Let me go back to DraftKings. I was building FanDuel a minute ago. Metcalf. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting like 40%. Like I because I don't want to. If you hammer Metcalf and Amon-Ra, you're cutting Hill out, which I think everybody's going to do. And I'm not going to cut Hill out. I'm not cutting Tyreek Hill out. That's not happening.
You can't.
So,
yeah.
I'm going, 70% Amon-Ra, like 40 to 45 on Hill and Metcalf.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened to me because I put projections up so high on ASB and Metcalf and Achane. I was getting
0 on Hill.
I was getting 3 Tyreek Hill lineups. I'm like, nope. That's when you force the minimum. I'm like, I got to get 40% in it.
And if you run most of the settings in pretty much any simulator blind, it's going to give you like no Hill tonight, which I don't want that.
Correct. So what's
if I'm Tyler Huntley, right, and I want to keep this fucking job, you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw the ball to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, or hand it off to him, right? Because he can. I mean, that's what I was thinking today. It's like you or me could get 100 yards passing tonight by just like literally tossing the ball to Tyreek Hill and then running 90 yards.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, everyone sleeps on Hill. He's the best receiver in the league. I mean, they're at home now. I
think that everybody saw what happened last week, and they're a little too quick to just like I was seeing projections where he was getting like 11, and I was like, "What?" Like,
yeah.
In what world is he getting 11?
Like I said, okay, Matt, he's 6 for 60 for 12. I'm like, what fucking world is that going to happen? Of course, that's his.
Fuck you, Dan.
Dan, ban Dan from the show. Dan's banned from the show. JBC getting winner on a 3-step drop back.
That's probably true.
No, it's not. You're getting healthier.
Yeah.
Your hair's growing.
My hair is growing still.
We're gonna commit to this forever.
No. Like I'm committed. It's gonna be really, really disgusting.
Bean Air. That was Bean Air. That was a fish hook to you, and you fell for it. Because why? Malik Neighbors.
Who's the best receiver in the league? Wan'Dale Robinson.
Jamar Chase. Hey, listen, B. McNair, Giants fan, super fan, number one. I gave you credit for that. I give you credit, Malik Neighbors. The Giants look pretty good. My Bengals, who I've never quit on ever.
They still didn't score a fucking touchdown.
Yeah, we play the Giants in New York in 2 weeks. I may have to ban B. McNair from the show, just like we did Dan, Dirty Dan.
That'll be I think the Bengals will handle the Giants.
Oh, of course they will. Burrow's amazing. He's your MVP.
5-12. Yes, Snyder. 5-12. That's the Bengals record. 5-12.
No, he meant the Giants. He would never do that. Mitch Snyder would never do that to me.
The Bengals because
he would not
on Twitter.
After I had to suffer through his goddamn Nebraska team against Purdue. I'm tired of them. Hold
on. Butthole Jenkins says ASB or Hill. I had to click it because of the name.
Both. Butthole Jenkins he's a classic. Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
I agree. Both.
Yeah. I didn't know Magical Dwarfs played DFS. He's a fan of the show. Does not get a ban.
Listen. I am taller than you would believe. Wiley is way taller than you would believe.
Yeah. 6'3", 225. We'll go with that.
Roughly the size of Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's huge now. Huge. And by the way, here's what I'll say about Georgia. I will thank Georgia for giving the Bengals Amarius Mims because that dude is insane. He is insanely good.
Listen, I like to make jokes about the Bengals. They're not as bad as everybody says.
Yeah.
But, I think they're going to struggle to make the playoffs from here. Although the Steelers punting that game to Flacco is, that was important for you.
So our biggest thing is well, two things. Where are you on JSN tonight against Brian Branch, right? Slot receiver. There's some is it Witherspoon on Seattle? Incredible player.
Right.
Brian
It is Witherspoon. Yes.
Yes. People are high on JSN, but I'm like,
he's been getting a lot of targets.
Yeah. He's still expensive though.
Eh.
I don't, and I know I'm going to get humiliated for this, but you still cannot eliminate Tyler Lockett. You can't. He's still getting targets. I could see Tyler Lockett getting a touchdown tonight.
I have them the same amount.
Who? JSN and
Tyler Lockett and JSN.
Correct. That's where I am too. I see him as like a
450
and 1. 450 and 1, and he's there. Tyler Lockett is there.
I have them both in the high 20s. I think I'm like 25, 26 on Lockett and close to 30 on JSN right now. The Seahawks could, if the game's high scoring, they could all get there. Frankly, it's a 2-game slate if the other game sucks, which that would result in me like dying. But, it's a possibility.
It's a possibility. And, last year we talked about this today, you and me. Last year, Seattle went into Detroit in September and was expected to get blown out by the mighty Detroit Lions. And Geno Smith went in there and won and put up a ton of fucking points. I'll never forget that game. So the Seattle's for real. They got a good young coach. They got a good defense. They got 2 great running backs now who they're going to share time with.
I'm not bullish on them. Other than the division being shit. Like, I still like the 49ers to win the division going away. I don't think it's even with all their injuries. I think
that's the one thing. They played New England. They played Bo Nix in his first game on the road. They played New England and Jacoby Brissett, who does nothing. And then they played Skylar Thompson last week.
Thompson, yes.
So
I don't know, because that's the thing. We don't know because their strength of schedule has been so shitty that we do not know what they're going to do today at all.
This is true, but the problem is that's the thing. It's in DFS. People lean into this too much, and then Lockett.
It's a 3-game sample against all shit teams, and the Lions are not shit.
Yes. You have to advantage yourself against the field, who's playing 11% Lockett, and you could still play 15% and be above the field. And he goes 450 and 1, and you got it. That's how you do it. That's how you need those levers.
Yeah.
Bo Nix just beat the mighty Jets. Yes, and he had -7 yards at halftime. -7 yards passing at halftime.
And then you get
something wrong with the Jets. There's something wrong with the Jets. Boomer Esiason said it today. There's something wrong with he hates his coach.
He doesn't like Robert Saleh?
No. He thinks he doesn't respect him.
Huh. That seems racist.
Well, there it is. You heard it here first. Go ahead. I'm going to create a banner. Oh, I wish I could type faster and better. Fuck. These fat, stupid fingers, Ukrainian fingers of mine.
Aaron Rodgers sucks, says Butthole Jenkins. The Jets don't have Hassan Reddick. That's killing him. It certainly is not good. Hackett. Okay, it could be Hackett. God. Crazy. Benair. Nailed it.
We don't need to put that comment up from Benair. Yes. We can put this one up. I'll see myself out. Thank you. Have a great night. Have a great night, Brandon. You've done great. We'll see you at the
that was solid.
So I think we've covered it. I can see two Seattle wide receivers being on the slate. Would I limit it to one of Waddle and Tyreek Hill? I know you don't like those limits. I know.
I play like in these 2 gamers, I play like dumb shit. Like I have lineups that are like Geno and DK and then like 3 Lions players. Like I got all kinds of shit like that.
And then we got the min cheap price pool, which may come into play because you've got some tight ends here tonight that I hate to have. And now I do a max one of these idiots, but like a Josh Wiley, shut up, Wiley. Nick Vanett scored last week. Julian Hill. Jonnu Smith, right? I was going to do that tight end max one rule, but I'm like, ugh.
Josh Wiley,
right? I mean, all four of their tight ends, or three or four of their tight ends, I think, on Tennessee. Let me pull it up here.
And Okonkwo, he was getting a lot of work last year.
Yeah.
It's been less this season.
Yeah, but they got Okonkwo. Wiley had 3 or 4 catches last week at 2,500. Nick Vanett caught a touchdown. He tilted the slate on Classic last week. Everyone's like, Nick Vanett? He's in the league? Like, one of those guys, if they score and get 9 points, and then you have these stud receivers go off, they're there. Now, do you want more than one of them? No. Yeah. I don't disagree with this. I mean, I think me and Mark...
Those double tight end builds could work.
Yes. You know what he did last week? Because we talked about it. I said no 3 running backs. No running back in flex. And it was a running back in flex. And I was like, why did I create that rule? That was stupid. Mm-hmm. Do we think that a running back is in flex tonight? Or do you think a wide receiver is in flex?
I am certainly not restricting it. Like, I can look at what I have the most. Right now, as far as flex, I'm probably half running back, a third receiver, and the rest tight end.
So you've got double tight end builds going.
I have some, but most of them are with Laporta.
Who's your top 2 tight ends? Fant? Sorry,
Laporta, it's Laporta, and then a massive drop, and then Fant.
Mostert is out tonight. I don't think he's officially out, nice Kevin, but I think that most likely he's out.
JBC is dump shit playing both Pollard and Spears in the same lineup. Maybe. But Spears gets a lot of the work in the passing game. Pollard gets a lot of work in the running game. It could easily go. It's like the Lions.
Yep, saw that too. I was going to create a max one rule. I'm like,
it could happen.
He could get both.
Also, Spears is too cheap.
Yeah, he's sub 5K.
Yeah. It's a 2-game slate. Like, all it takes is for one team to just get fucking destroyed, and shit gets weird.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, listen. As much as we've talked about Tyler Huntley and the Dolphins and everything, imagine that Tyler Huntley is bad, like Skylar was last week, and the Titans just destroy them. Then it's probably Pollard and Spears.
Yeah, that's right. Now if Spears was 6K, I'd be like, yeah, limit them. But he's sub 5. And then he's out working some tight ends. He's outworking some wide receivers, and he could get there. And exactly this. I would say, someone said in the Discord today, is there a prop for every quarterback tonight throwing an interception? I was like, that's a good fucking prop.
Yeah,
you're right.
I'm trying to think of who. Gino probably won't throw one.
You cannot lock a defense tonight. I don't care what your conviction on game script is. You have to have some of everything.
Yeah, defense. I have stacks against defense. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, think about playing, Taysom Hill in the Falcons defense last week, or like yesterday,
yeah.
If one team scores a touch in a 2-game slate, if one defense scores a touchdown, they're optimal, even if the other team scores a zillion points.
1,000%. And it hasn't been as damaging this year as it was last year. And I thought about that today. It's like, every slate defense had a touchdown. Every single one. They were I felt like optimal on a showdown slate.
They're running the ball more this year, so there's less.
Right. And I'm like, oh, is tonight the night with these dusty-ass quarterbacks? Possibly. Wiley all over the place. Yeah, welcome to my life. Yeah, welcome to it, Trevor Bryan. My thought after, I'll pull up the comment, besides Fant and Smith, favorite cheap tight end, I would do a max one rule of Tennessee tight ends, but that's Josh Conquo or Josh Wiley, right?
Yeah.
Because he's my cousin. That's why. Less Adderall. I don't take Adderall. I probably should. I do need it. I have ADD. Never done drugs. Trevor Bryan. That may surprise you. Trevor Bryan's one more comment away from getting banned from the show. Just like being there. Levis has to be one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks ever. Yeah, well, that's the funny thing. Going back to the Kentucky coaches that we were talking to, they also believed that Levis was going to be the number 1 overall pick. So that gave me hope that Alabama would win. Imagine getting banned. Goff is dust. He's not. I don't know if he's dust. He doesn't turn over the ball a lot, but his running backs do so much. They
don't throw it deep. They don't throw it a lot. Period. He has St. Brown and Laporta that he can throw too short. There's just not. He doesn't have to do a lot.
Montgomery and Gibbs just get one. Get 2. Snake draft me and Bean Air. Okay. You go first.
I got Bean Air.
Okay. I'll take Bean Air. There you go, Trevor. Feels like a Wiley night, obviously. Yes. That is a great narrative. Yeah. Yeah.
I got Wiley at like 3%.
I think you need more. I think he's probably my favorite punt. Although Jonnu Smith did fuck us in that Buffalo game.
Jonnu. You know, as I said before that game, he didn't fuck me, he fucked you. But what I will say was that I was very much adamant that he would get more targets for saving Tyreek Hill from the police. And he did.
Yeah, that was a crazy night. Jonnu Smith saved Tyreek Hill from the police.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at last week. D-Hop played 30 to 40% of snaps, and he printed. These dusty Tennessee receivers.
Yeah. I think that Tennessee's going to get no ownership. I think Miami, like the receivers on Miami aren't going to get ownership. It's all going to go towards Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Laporta, and, that game, DK Metcalf, JSN, etc. To completely discount the first game, I think is making a horrible mistake.
Yeah, I do too. Now, I will do a hard ceiling on the number of stud wide receivers on Tennessee I play. But
you don't think that? Nah, dude. Levis has thrown for a lot of yards before.
I can't see a winning lineup with 2 Tennessee wide receivers. I know that's stupid to do that, to cap it, but not on this slate.
No, I'm letting it go. I have lineups with 3. I guess Westbrook, Akine, or whatever the fuck.
No, you got to do that. That's the thing about this slate too, is you can, because of the price of some of these guys, like $3 to $4K for wide receivers that don't hit the field, just X them out. You can't play Westbrook, Akine.
You absolutely can.
Fuck.
I have some guy named Jaquan Jackson.
Yes.
3%.
I have some guy named Jaquan Jackson. I don't think he's at the hotel tonight. I don't think he's there.
Well, I mean, obviously, if he's inactive, you change that. But yeah, Westbrook Akine, I've got 4%. Treylon Burks, 5%. Like I don't see any reason not to play these guys.
So 10% of your lineups have those 2 guys.
Yeah, and then you got your Darike Young, Laviska Shenault, Allen Robinson, Braxton Berrios.
That's what I know. That's what wins slates outright. I know, but to me, I'm looking at 15 of my lineups in the 150 are dead.
No, but they're not dead, because even if they get a 0, like it's. Let's say the lineup costs the max, and you take a 0, like
100% agreed. But like a 3,100 Treylon Burks, I think there's a $2,500 tight end who actually scores. That's the difference for me.
Well, the thing about that is the tight end ceiling is like 6.5 or 7, and Treylon Burks could catch a long one and get like 13.
Yeah.
So I tend to be more liberal about the cheap wide receiver. Like I didn't play cheap running backs. They're not getting shit. But
except for a little bit of Spears.
Spears, no. Spears is not. That's not what I'm calling cheap.
Like Ingold.
Yeah, cheap. I'm talking like Julius Chestnut.
That was in the Discord today. Someone put Joey Chestnut's picture there. I said we all got to max this.
Yeah, like Julius Chestnut. I have one lineup, which is the same as a tight end as far as like just running the ball in the end zone one time.
Yeah,
but it costs more.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't. I know that sometimes these crazy things will happen. I just try to eliminate these dead lineups, especially in showdown. Say, listen,
I don't mind eliminating the dead. Like, listen, like as far as my salary restrictions for showdown, totally understand it. I do that a lot. I eliminate the base a lot.
Yeah.
2 gamers, because to me, if you nail absolutely everything on a 2 gamer, you can win with a 0 sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, because if the big boys smash,
or if you like stack against your defense, or in the defense crushes, like something stupid happens.
Yeah.
So I actually like doing it in 2 gamer more than I like doing it in showdown.
Yeah,
playing the dumb shit.
I'm going my exposures here, and my biggest exposure right now is Josh Wiley. I have a 4-point projection on Josh Wiley. I'm getting 50% of my lineups have Josh Wiley. That's not good. That's just not going to happen.
Right. You that's going too hard on it. But if
because I want Tyreek Hill with the other studs. That's the problem. That's what happens.
Yeah. So the guys that have more upside are the receivers. Yeah. Laviska Shenault is a deep ball merchant. If he's active in there.
He's a merchant of the deep ball.
Yes.
Oh, Trevor Bryan's back in my good books. Jake Bobo Knight. Yeah. He knows how to get to my heart.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like playing white people.
In general.
Hmm?
So no Jared Goff tonight?
No, at the skill position. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
No white people at skill positions. Other than tight end doesn't count.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I've got to take a stand on this, on Laporta. I mean, he's expensive. And he's been sucky.
I have. How much Laporta do I have? I'm at like 50, 56.
Yes.
And like almost half of those are like the double tight end lineups.
Like
there we go. Thank you, Javon Town.
Yes, and Aaron Rodgers is racist. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Technically, punting and kicking is a skill. I banned you, Beanair. You said you exited yourself from this chat. All right, let's go to scores for the game, and we'll get out of here.
All right.
First game. I have it tight.
24-17 Tennessee.
No fucking shit. I have 24-17 Miami.
You have Miami.
Uh-huh. Yep. But we have the same sort of 41 point.
Right.
Yeah. 2 touchdowns, Tennessee. Maybe 3 for Miami. All right. Interesting on Seattle, Detroit. What do you have? This is tough.
27-24 Detroit.
You're fucking this. You're looking at my screen right now.
No.
I have 27-24 Seattle. This is in my Saber Sim right now. Did you see it? Did I show this to you?
No.
We have the exact same score output, but reversed.
With the opposite winners, yeah.
Yeah, but I could have flipped it. I could have said 27-24 Detroit. So I'm right there with you. I'm like 2 or 3 touchdowns each and some field goals. Thank God we don't have to worry about kickers on these fucking classic slates.
Oh, kicker would be better than defense.
Yeah, you're right.
Fucking hate defense. Like, just give us super flex. God,
just give us super flex like college. It's great. Then we can play 2 quarterbacks,
or just no defense. Like, literally, just take the defense away.
I think they want to. I think the sharp people at DraftKings want to, from what I hear.
Yeah.
But then
they would have to redo their whole pricing algorithm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of work. So I understand why they haven't, but
they have been making defenses tougher to play on Showdown. I feel like they priced them up a little more.
They didn't yesterday, which is why I had so much Ravens.
Yeah. Tennessee 16-13. You know what?
If that happens, then, I'm
I'm
going to be drinking a lot tonight.
Versus. That was the best on Saturday when you knew I was at max stress levels, and you know how max stressed I get and how intense I get. And you called me and say, "Hey, just want to remind you, you're a pussy." Or you said something to that effect. I was like, just not now. Just not now, Mark.
You deserved it right then.
I was like, can we wait till 1 a.m.?
I was afraid you were going to cash out. I wanted to make sure you did not cash out.
I appreciate that. All right.
And then I fell asleep for the whole second half.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I did not watch that second half.
Oh, my God. I wish I didn't watch any of it. Tennessee can't move the ball. Miami has a quarterback who played on the replacements. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the defenses aren't that great either.
Yeah. I mean, Malik Willis is kind of the litmus test for me on the road against Tennessee, and he could.
The fact that we're now considering Jared Goff and Geno Smith to be like very, very good.
This is confirmation bias night. It's like, yeah. I think DK Metcalf is okay. Do your play of the day.
Play of the day. What's
the
guy's name that I just fucking said?
Jake Bobo?
Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut?
Julius Chestnut. No. Okay. My play of the day is Tyreek Hill.
Okay, I'm going DK Metcalf. Okay. There it is. But I'll be playing some Tyreek Hill, baby.
If Tyreek Hill ends up under 20%, which I think is totally might happen, I'll be very happy to take my my Tyreek Hill shares.
I think it'll be 14%.
It's real fucking low.
Because people are going to want to jam in the Detroit-Seattle game and all their favorite receivers. JSN. I'm taking a stand down on Laporta, and I'm taking a stand down on JSN.
So your big play is to fade those.
Fade those. That's my leverage tonight. That's my leverage. So
I can see it. How do you feel about Kenneth Walker?
I heard the coach talk about how he likes having the two running backs he can lean on. So I don't know if that means Charbonnet still takes now from Walker. It's tough.
I have no Charbonnet, and I feel like that's a problem.
Yeah, I feel like it's a problem too, right?
But how can you gamble on it?
Whereas on the Detroit side, I would not limit it to one running back. I think you could do it on the Seattle side
if you wanted to,
because I think that Geno throws for two and one's run in, and I think you need the one run in from Seattle because they're equally priced, Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, to get it. That's my thought.
To me, Kenneth Walker is a much better football player. So if he's okay, I think they'll have him out there.
Yeah. So riddle me this, and maybe Javontown. Or Javon Town. By the way, we always talked about having apostrophes in our name, and I'm jealous of that. But riddle me this. Because I didn't watch Seattle last week. Never mind. Ken Walker played 0 snaps. I look at Kenny McIntosh.
Walker was hurt.
I looked at McIntosh, and I thought it was Walker because I'm dyslexic. And I'm like, why did Walker play and not have any points? Yeah, I don't know. Charbonnet's been great.
Yeah, but Walker's been great every game he plays too. Like, I don't know. I'm inclined to go with, if Walker plays, then he's in, and if he doesn't, then he's not, type deal. And so the fact that he's in means he's going to play. Like, I have Charbonnet. Almost 9.
What's your projection on Charbonnet, though?
Like 6.
Yeah, I'm at 7.
And so, I think that if either one, like I have Ken Walker at like 14.
Yeah, that's the thing about Charbonnet at 6,200. Then you've got like Taj Spears who can outperform Charbonnet, who's $1,400 cheaper. That's the point where you eliminate Charbonnet, but you don't do it because just in case he gets the touchdown.
I have him 5%, and I didn't eliminate the combos. There probably aren't any. There could be. I'd have to double check, but I'm not concerned about having them because something stupid could happen.
It's tough for me on best ball because I was very convicted on Rashee Rice, and he's like a Zay Flowers,
and he was nutting.
He was nutting. He's like an ASB. He just gets so many targets, and he's very good. I really believe there's something wrong in Vegas with Davante Adams. The business decision was made, and he sat, and they won against Cleveland at home. I believe this beginning of the season. I believe he goes. The strange part is Garrett Wilson with the Jets. What's up with why is he not getting the love from Rodgers?
He was at first. The situation with the Jets, I'm less confident in. The situation with Davante Adams, I 100% don't think he's injured.
Oh yeah,
he's not injured.
No.
I don't think he necessarily wants to get traded, but I think they want to trade him.
Yeah, I'd be very concerned for my Bengals if Davante Adams was a Chief.
What are they going to give him? I guess football is not as hard to trade.
Second round pick, third round pick. Yeah. It's one of those things because he's gone.
Because he makes so much money. Yeah. So it's more about taking on the salary than it is about.
And it's last year of his contract. It's like he's gone anyway. Right. But Rodgers likes his guys. Like look at Lazard.
So you think Rodgers? You think Adams will go to the Jets?
I think it's one of the two. I don't know why. Rodgers seems very frustrated on a very, very good team, and doesn't have his guy. And he's a whiny bitch, right? Being there,
Rodgers is a whiny bitch, bro.
He's a whiny bitch. He's not my Daniel Jones.
Unbelievable.
All right, let's get out of here. Good luck tonight, man.
Yep, you too.
I'll look for your FaceTime call at 11 p.m. Call me a pussy.
Yeah.